Hi, my name is Chuck Rockesy, and I'm going to show you how to do maintenance on an ARI valve, a sewage valve. It's ARI model D020. This is a 2-inch combination air release valve. And it's a pretty simple process, but I'd like to go through it because it's a little different from what most maintenance and contractors are used to seeing in an air release valve. So this is the epoxy coated D020 valve, and what we're going to do is show you how to disassemble it and then reassemble it. So what ARI has done is they have 4 bolts at the very top of the valve that allow you to take the working mechanism away from the body. And these are, there's a 3/4 inch. So now, you can take the whole assembly out. Again, you put the O-ring down. You look into the valve, and naturally this slide you can see if there's any debris or whatever, you can clean that out as needed. So now that you have the body cleaned out, now if you need to or want to clean the top assembly back to here, now you have your float that goes in the sewage. You'd want to clean this all off. You can use Dawn dishwashing liquid with some hot soapy water to cut the grease. So now to take this apart and to look at the rolling seal, this is an example of the rolling seal. This is the operating mechanism of the air valve. This is really the only major part. So all you do is whenever the top assembly or the top portion of the upper body here can be loosened up, you just use your hand on it, hold this top, and you could release that. And now all you do is unscrew this top assembly, like so. You look inside, there's another O-ring here. If you look inside of the top portion, and now you want to disassemble this top, take out the rolling seal. Right here, you see this is a foot that holds the rolling seal in. You just pull that out, put that off to the side. Now the whole top assembly can be taken out. If there's any debris or grit or anything in there that needs to. And this is the rolling seal I was talking about before. This is really the major working portion of the valve. And if this needs to be repaired because it's either ripped or damaged or whatever, this can be taken out very easily. If you look, there's a slot right here. All you do is grab onto the bottom portion of it, and then you can slide it out, and then slide the next one right back in. In this case, I'll put the same one back in. But if you notice that whenever we put the rolling seal in, that the 2 screws and the slope portion of the top polypropylene float, you put these 2 screws facing the outside and facing that side of the float. So, and to reassemble, very simply what you do, and this is the trickiest part of the whole thing, you start these ears right here, we're looking at, these ears here, into this portion of the internal housing. So we're going to start that in there like so. Start that down that slot. And the top float fits into 2 grooves, two protruding pieces of plastic that slides in there, and you put the top foot back in. Just reassemble it. And then you're going to screw it back into the top like so. It's easiest sometimes to do it if it's upside down. And you just tighten it on like so. Okay, now you have this all assembled. You're going to put it back into the valve body. So very simply, naturally, this could be live line, but you want to make sure you put your O-ring back into the groove at the top of the valve. You take the top assembly, Put it down, you align the holes. Very simply, you put the bolts back in. Again, these are 3/4 inch bolts and nuts. The ARI valve, the D020, can also be back flushed right through the top of the valve. There's a cam lock connection here, 1.5 inch cam lock, where you could attach a hose and some cleaning solution, basically Dawn dishwashing liquid and water. The water can't exceed 140 degrees and the pressure shouldn't exceed 40 psi, but you take that, you can pump it back through the top of the valve. It cleans internally all the pieces and the internals, and it can be flushed right back into the force main. And that's it. Thank you for